I'm Joshua Zeidner, Associate Professor of Medicine at University of North Carolina, and I'm really excited to talk to you today about some of the emerging combination strategies of menin inhibitors in acute myeloid leukemia. Just to set the playing field, we have two commercially available FDA-approved menin inhibitors for relapsed and refractory NPM1 mutated AML patients, and that's revumenib and ziftomenib. And revumenib also FDA-approved for relapsed and refractory KMT2A rearranged acute leukemia patients. However, we have to understand some of the limitations of these agents as single agents. In particular, both revumenib and ziftomenib as single agents in relapsed refractory NPM1 mutated AML patients have a median duration of response that is between 4 and 5 months. So about 30 to 50% of these patients will achieve some sort of response, but the responses are not very durable. So that has really led to the impetus to combine some of these agents with other therapies to see if we can A, improve the response rates, and B, potentially improve the durability and overall survival. So we're now beginning to see some emerging combination strategies with HMA venetoclax-based combinations in the relapse refractory setting. The COMET-007 study was reported at ASH, actually combining azacitidine venetoclax, Aza-Ven, with ziftomenib. And we've also seen enzomenib data combined with azacitidine and venetoclax. We've already seen bleximenib combined with azacitidine and venetoclax from EHA last year. And there is other emerging combinations with revumenib, oral decitabine cedazuridine, and venetoclax. And what all of these are really showing is quite impressive overall response rates, as high as 70+% in this relapse refractory setting. And I think we are beginning to learn more about which patients may truly benefit from a combination in the relapse setting versus those who may do just as well, perhaps, with single agents, especially with some of the newer investigational agents such as enzomenib and bleximenib. But what I think is really most exciting to me in the field is the emerging combination data of menin inhibitors with azacitidine and venetoclax for newly diagnosed older AML patients with either an NPM1 mutation or a KMT2A rearrangement. We've seen several data sets now presented, COMET-007 presenting data of azacitidine, venetoclax, and ziftomenib for newly diagnosed older NPM1 mutated AML patients. We've already reported our Beat AML data of azacitidine, venetoclax, and revumenib, and certainly have seen some data with azacitidine, venetoclax, and bleximenib as well. And this to me is most encouraging. We're seeing overall response rates, close to 90% with these combination strategies. These have now led to the development of several ongoing randomized phase 3 studies where we'll ultimately know whether the addition of menin inhibitors improves overall outcomes and overall survival in patients with newly diagnosed NPM1 mutated AML. So a lot more to come that I'm very excited about. I think, again, combinations in the relapse setting appear to improve the response rates. Whether these are going to be more durable and safe strategies for relapsed patients is to be determined. And in the newly diagnosed older unfit setting, the combinations of menin inhibitors and Aza-Ven certainly appears to improve overall response rates. We're seeing very encouraging clinical activity, and randomized studies will determine the role of these moving forward. And I'm excited to hopefully give you an update on these data in the near future.